Samson Munyoki from Garissa County, working for livestock, basically at Dadaab sub-county. But we do have a county forum whereby we come to discuss issues. Mainly, we want to have a plan, a long-term plan on the county integrated development plans. Concerning the tools that I've come across, because I have had several of them, I can see that they are of very great use, because initially we used to have something which is not organized. There were some national projects whereby we were doing some bit of reseeding of degraded lands, but we did not have a tool that could lead us to areas which needs reseeding. So after coming across these tools, we can now identify the areas where
Which tools now?
Mainly Rangelands decision tool, because we can identify the areas which are degraded and which needs to be reseeded. Yeah, after devolution, you find that some contractors want to be given maybe some contracts to sink it boreholes, maybe to have water pans, but now they could do it anywhere. And you know, water points are very crucial when it comes to land degradation, because a settlement will emerge there. Animals will move there, which means that the area for grazing will start being degraded. So with these tools that I've come across, it is very easy to identify areas which needs to have a borehole, areas which needs to have water points, so that we minimize the emergence of villages and some maybe settlements. You know, when we have more settlements, then it means that the land will continue to be degraded. So the tool has helped us to have a decision and a plan on where to put what for the county. We also, in the progress of having a county integrated development project plan, in which we want even to start producing fodder. And fodder cannot be produced anywhere. We have to identify areas where maybe we have good soils, where we have maybe water, like along the river line of Tana River. So through the use of these tools, you can identify areas which are suitable for production of fodder. Initially, we were undertaking some plans with the Care Kenya. And as we talk now, we have established rangeland grazing management committees. They have drawn bylaws to govern the grazing patterns, where we have the wet and rain grazing blocks. The bylaws are waiting to be enacted at the county assembly. In fact, they were doing validation the other day, so that we can have bylaws that can govern the grazing, because without bylaws, of course, everyone will be doing his or her own grazing system. So we have established grazing blocks per county and per ward, because you know these things also needs political goodwill. So every ward has got a plan on how to graze their livestock. And now, as we talk, the bill has been taken to the county assembly so that it can be enacted. Then the tool has also helped us to have the routes established, the migration routes, livestock migration routes. And many the veterinary department are using these routes when they want to do some bit of mitigation in the form of administration of drugs, vaccination and all that, so that you move where the animals are. And since we have the route maps in our tool, then it is very easy to know where the animals are, and you go and do the mitigation, maybe supplementation of feeds. You can do them where the animals are, and that one will reduce the time which is wasted. The other thing is that the tool has also helped us to know the areas where we need to have maybe tree planting. Because if you see an area whereby we have a worse condition every now and then it means that the parent seed stock has been depleted. So you need to have a new seed stock to have that area being rejuvenated again. So all these ones have been successful. We have done some reseeding, although we had some challenges of rainfall. But when the rains came, we saw that the grasses were emerging. And when you look at now the vegetation cover, you will see that after reseeding, the areas now, they are having good grass coverage. But the success is immense, because this one has been in use as from last year, but one. But now implementation has been done last year. It was being used by some departments like the NDMA, water, so that they can identify the water points, and some other NGOs, but not now at the county level. Those who are being done at departmental levels. So I can say that now the tool is in use widely in the county by the county staff. The tool is very useful. The only challenges that we may be having is that it is not being widely used by the locals at the grassroots. So we had some suggestions that we have a data bank of the information, maybe at the county headquarters, and then it being diffused to the sub-counties, where now the locals can access it. Like when we were doing the grazing blocks, we had a map. We moved to the people with a map so that they can have public participation to see what we are talking about. And they appreciated the map. They said, yes, this is our area, and this is what we normally do, because we could show them how they move their livestock. And then they said, yes, surely this is what we are supposed to do. So they welcome the idea, and they are very supportive. The only bit which is remaining is that it needs some bit of reinforcement so that people can now hone it. So the tool is okay, but it needs some bit of being diffused, and it needs to be also friendly to the locals, because it's more scientific. Yeah? So it needs to be interpreted in a simpler language that they can understand. We had a public participation before we formed the committees. We called the people together. We told them that there's a tool that will help us now to have a better system of grazing, a better system of managing resources in the rangelands. They came together, we talked about it, and then it was like, wow, this is something, where was it all this time? We have been having problems. So it is a tool that is of very great use. It's a tool that is giving the actual, the real thing which is happening. And I think the people are appreciating it. I think I will welcome a partnership whereby we will be sharing information as it comes, because it is dynamic. And to conduct some workshops like these ones, either at the county level, even at the sub-county level, if the funds will be available. So I would rather encourage the counties even to support such like workshops, whereby now the information will diffuse further to the locals, so that they don't say, this thing is coming from the space, it is not ours. But when the county comes into play, and then they have the tool and the information diffused to the people, then I think they will start owning it, and most of the people will also start using it, because we have people down there, the local people. There are some people who can even use the tool, because you can access it in our phones sometimes, and people have the smartphones. So I think it can go to the locals.